So, you've just put the kids to bed, you've opened up a can of goofy juice, and just when you're about to sit down and scroll for hours looking for something to watch, you realise something strange. There's more content than ever before, but somehow nothing hits quite like it used to. Back when we had no choice but to watch what was on telly, because that was it. So tonight, I'm taking a look back at some of the most random Kiwi shows that you've probably already forgotten about. Let's have a look at them, shall we? Face the Music, hosted by my mate Simon Barnett. This little gem aired during the 1990s as a music-themed quiz show. Contestants competed to identify the songs, artists, and musical trivia under pressure. And the format was pretty simple, and it tested your music knowledge in an area before you could just Google it. And us lucky viewers at home got to play along. You could test your family and your own memory, and you could laugh at everyone else's music tastes. It reinforced how central music shows were for us back then, and at the time it provided something different in the normal quiz show era. So What's in the Bag was originally a radio program from the 1950s, but being Kiwis we kind of revived it and claimed it for ourselves. And in 1984, with John Hawkesby as host and 19-year-old Hilary Timmins as his co-host, it travelled to towns around the country, bringing ordinary Kiwis to the stage to win prizes. And the show leaned heavily on regional pride and participation. It wasn't about celebrities, man. It was about communities. It was about your old mate Dave and your Uncle Pete and some other chick that your mum knew from high school. But I think the 1984 version captured something that was uniquely Kiwi. I think it deserves a bit of a comeback. So if you grew up in the late 80s and the 90s, chances are you never saw Wellington look as cool as when it was in Shark in the Park. Premiering in 1989, this homegrown drama was set and filmed right in the capital. And looking back, it featured some pretty familiar faces. The show followed Sharky and his team as they solved serious crimes throughout Wellington. It leaned heavy into the police drama, real investigations, and real stakes. And it ran for several seasons throughout the 90s. And it proved something pretty important. Us Kiwis could make something compelling. Character-driven stories right here at home, with our accents and our streets. So us Kiwis like to copy everything, even everyone else's shows. So in 1989, good old New Zealand brought the fast-paced quiz show into our own living rooms, hosted by the ever-smooth Steve Parr and Jude Dobson, just to give it that classic 90s sex appeal. They combined trivia with shopping temptation in the most 90s way possible. And the premise was pretty dangerous, man. Contestants answered general knowledge questions to earn money. And the more you knew, the more you earned. And spend it on flashy prizes in the studio. But would you risk it all? Walk away with a little minor prize? Go for the big one? Or risk it and win nothing at all? We don't make shows like this anymore. It's kind of a shame. So you don't know how long I've been waiting to talk about this next one. I even made this video specifically for this one. It's Jackson's Wharf. Just when you thought we were skipping shows from the early 2000s, along came a coastal small town with big secrets. Jackson's Wharf premiered in 1999, back when I was a little fella, and it dropped us into a seaside community where everyone had history, baggage, and one dude was an ex-All Black and could never shut up about it. They had a ruthless cop, random hotties, and those classic Kiwi actors that you'd go, oh, I know that one, and I know that one. But it was so good that it only ran for 2 seasons. But while it was here, it brought together a strong cast of Kiwi actors, and the scenery felt recognisable. It felt like every small town in New Zealand. Tight-knit, gossipy, supportive one minute, and then they'll stab you in the back the next. So this was another one of the favourites back in the day, and that's SportsCafe. Launching back in the late 90s, SportsCafe blended sports coverage with comedy and celebrity interviews, hosted by Tony Vetch and a whole cast of clowns, and also Lana Cockcroft. It was good because it broke from the traditional sports broadcasting and added a bit of humour. You mixed highlights with informal conversations, people got drunk and handsy, there was nudity, that guy, random comedy sections and man love moments. The show pushed the boundaries and showed whatever it could on late night TV. It was a cultural icon and was one of the best. So before Kiwi comedy was a global export, we had the Billy T. James Show.
Excuse me, what's going on?
They just found out what was in the secret 11 herbs and spices.
It premiered in 1981 and quickly became a national treasure. Billy's sketches blended sharp wit, physical comedy, and a unique Kiwi perspective on Māori, Pākehā, and anyone else. It had spoof commercials, recurring characters. The show was a laugh riot. It had heart, and it was a social commentary. Billy had a unique way of poking fun of everyday Kiwi life. His jokes and humour made it personal. He was relatable and undeniably Kiwi. The Billy T. James Show didn't just make us laugh, and left a legacy that continues to influence Kiwi comedians even to this day. So if you remembered any of the shows on my list, why don't you give me a like down below? Subscribe to my channel even. Or you can let me know some of your favourite shows from back in the 70s, 80s and 90s. Get a conversation going. And if you want to keep this nostalgic journey going, you can watch this video here. Or maybe you can watch this video that I'm suggesting here. Actually, no. Watch this one. Yeah, that's a better one. Okay, bye. Nothing hits. Got a cat on me. Hey, mate.